In this video, we're going to show you how to replace your W1000 probe, how to keep it clean, and how to properly adjust. To change the probe, you're going to need a 27mm wrench, an extra adjustable wrench, or an extra 27mm. For adjusting the soil box, you're going to need a 17mm wrench and a special wrench that comes with your W1000 kit. You have the probe hub and have the probe locking nut. We're going to secure the probing hub in position, and with the second wrench you're going to lose the probe nut like this. Once the probe nut is loose, you can unscrew all the way and the probe is going to be free to be replaced. Always check the threads on your new probe if it's clean. And most important, always check the threads on your probe hub. This is a more complicated part to be replaced, so you want to be sure the threads are clean and there's no damage on it. If you find any debris, you can always brush with a wire brush inside, and you can always re-tap and make new threads. So after replacing your probe, you need to pay attention to the ejector tip. It shouldn't be sticking too far out, or when it's coming up, it has the risk of hitting the tip of the probe, causing damage. You also don't want it too far in, otherwise it wouldn't eject the whole sample and the soil box. You want the ejector tip sticking out at least 1 to 2 millimeters of the probe tip. More than that or less than that can cause problems. To adjust the position of the scraper tip, this is how you do it. So in order to adjust the difference on the scraping tip and the probe, once you have the drilling head on the down position on the bottom of the machine, you have access to this screw here. This screw controls the distance from the top of the machine and the drilling head stop. If you have this screw going up, the drilling head would stop lower. If you have this screw lower, the drilling head would stop on a higher position. You need to be careful so the drilling head doesn't hit the top of the machine, causing damages. And then you can adjust the probe relation with the scraping tip. If it's hanging too low, you lower the screw so the drilling head would stop a little bit higher. If the scraping tip is hanging outside of the probe, you would raise the screw so the drilling head would stop a little bit lower. This way is how you control the scraping tip inside the probe. But once you adjust this once, you don't have to worry about that anymore, unless it got loose during lifetime, but that's a one-time adjustment. You always have to make sure that the thread is all the way in the hub, so you keep the same distance with the ejector all the time. If you keep the probe all the way screwed to the hub, you won't have to worry about this guy here. It's important to check that the probe opening is following this direction inside the soil box. If you need to adjust for some reason, just loosen the probe nut. You can rotate the probe itself until it's on the right position and then lock the nut again. This way you can make sure that probe opening will be always dropping the sample inside the soil box. To adjust the soil box opening with the special key, you hold the inside of the bearing, the eccentric nut, you loose the locking nut just a little bit, and then you can adjust the position of the eccentric nut. You can see the bearing spinning farther or closer to the sliding box. Once you have in position you want, secure with the special key and tighten the lock nut. Now when the drilling head goes down, you can check if the opening of the soil box is not enough to hit the yellow body and closes at the same time the soil sample is ejected. You don't want it closing too fast, that hits the probe on its way, and you don't want it open too much, that hits the yellow body, damaging it. If you have any problems, you can always give us a call, go to our website, check the manuals, and I wish everyone a good sampling.